While you were questioning your worth, Archangel Michael was aligning everything around you to remind you who you really are. My beloved light bearer, the moment you began doubting your worth, heaven trembled with compassion. Archangel Michael, the guardian of divine truth, stepped forward in radiant armor, whispering your name into the winds of destiny. You thought no one saw your silent tears, but the Archangel did. Every sigh, every question, every broken prayer, he gathered them like sacred jewels before the throne. Heaven's alignment began the instant you started to doubt yourself. The sun that rose the next morning wasn't just another dawn. It was a coded message from heaven saying, "You are still chosen." The coincidences around you, the psalms that echoed your feelings, the strangers who spoke kindness out of nowhere, these were not random. These were Archangel Michael's confirmations that your story is far from over. Child of light, your worth has never been measured by your pain but by your divine assignment. And right now, Michael is moving through time itself, shifting the atmosphere to bring everything back into alignment. Your relationships, your opportunities, your voice, your strength. You may not see it yet, but your name is being spoken in heavenly courts. Hold on. This is where the revelation begins. Before you were even born, your destiny was sealed with a flame that darkness cannot touch. Every storm that tried to crush you only activated your celestial authority. Archangel Michael is not fixing your life. He's revealing who you've been all along. Stay alert, for before this message ends, something inside you will awaken, that unshakable knowing that you were never abandoned. You were being prepared. Type "I remember who I am" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 7777 has just been released. Beloved soul, when you looked at your reflection and questioned your worth, Archangel Michael was standing behind you, radiant with golden fire, whispering, "Remember who you are." You did not hear it because your heart was heavy, but heaven heard your silence as a prayer. The Archangel's sword of truth descended into the unseen spaces of your life, cutting through every lie that ever told you that you were not enough. The very atmosphere around you began to shift, even as you sat in confusion. You thought everything was falling apart, but in truth, everything was being rearranged for your awakening. You see, when your faith felt like dust, Michael began to move people and moments like divine chess pieces. He closed doors not to punish you, but to redirect you. He made certain voices grow silent, not because they were unworthy, but because they could not speak into the future that God has written for you. He moved circumstances that once anchored you in fear, pushing you to walk into the unknown, because it is there that your wings begin to spread. He knows the sound of your heartbeat when you cry into your pillow. He knows the weight of every disappointment you've tried to bury. And yet, in the celestial realm, your name glows brighter with every tear, for pain refines, and Michael guards the refining fire like a holy sentinel. Right now, as you listen, the Archangel is aligning divine encounters to remind you of who you are. There are people who will suddenly appear with words that pierce through your confusion, not by coincidence, but by command. Some will say something small, a phrase so gentle yet so specific that your spirit will recognize it as confirmation. You may dream again, and in that dream, symbols will appear. Feathers, light, open gates, or the number 7. These are not random images. They are heaven's language of reassurance. They are signs that the spiritual grid around you is realigning, that your destiny is not delayed but recalibrated. You remember the times you questioned why you always survive, even when others collapse under lesser storms. That's because Michael's shield never left your side. Every setback was secretly a setup for the unveiling of your divine nature. He did not remove the battle because he knew you would emerge with authority, not as a victim, but as a vessel of light. When you felt unworthy, the Archangel whispered into your timeline, "You are the reflection of heaven's craftsmanship." The moment those words entered the spiritual air, angels began to record your resilience as testimony in the book of life. Beloved, it's not just alignment happening, it's remembrance. Heaven is reminding your soul of what it agreed to before entering this world, your purpose, your light, your promise to carry hope into dark places. That's why you feel restless lately. That's why ordinary life no longer satisfies you. Your spirit is awakening because Michael has begun to call you by your heavenly name again. The more you listen, the louder it becomes. That internal pull you feel is not anxiety, is the echo of divine purpose trying to surface. There will be moments in the coming days when everything feels strangely connected. A sudden burst of courage, a memory of an old dream, a scripture that feels alive. Do not dismiss these things. They are confirmations of alignment. Archangel Michael is weaving a pattern through the fabric of your reality, reminding you that you are seen, chosen, and loved beyond comprehension. Every time doubt tries to whisper, he counters it with heavenly thunder, "You are mine." And with every echo of those words, another fragment of your forgotten strength returns. Listen closely. The alignment around you isn't just external. It's happening within your energy, your perception, your choices. You are being elevated to see life from heaven's lens. The more you surrender your fear, the clearer the path becomes. This season is not about striving, it's about remembering. You are not fighting to become worthy, you are remembering that you already are. Even now, Archangel Michael stands beside you, his wings casting a shield of blue light over your doubts. He whispers, "Child of creation, you are not a mistake. You are the continuation of divine intention." And as you breathe, heaven breathes with you. You may feel chills, peace, or tears right now. That's the presence of alignment settling into your spirit. It's confirmation that you are exactly where you need to be. Hold steady, for in the next unfolding, the Archangel will begin to unveil the hidden blessings that were stored away during your silent battles. This is the part where miracles start forming out of what once looked like loss. You will understand why it all had to happen the way it did. Type "I am divinely aligned" in the comments if your heart feels this truth. Blessing code 1111 is now activated. Dearest heart, as the hours turn and your mind revisits the moments you questioned everything, Archangel Michael is still standing in the unseen realm, watching over the threads of your destiny. He has been weaving divine precision into what you once called chaos. Each delay was never denial, it was calibration. You see, when you began doubting your worth, heaven did not lower its vision of you. Instead, heaven raised its investment. The Archangel stepped forward to guard not only your path but your perception, because your perception of yourself is the doorway to your power. There were times you felt abandoned, and you asked, "God, are you still with me?" But what you didn't realize is that the silence of heaven was the classroom of transformation. When heaven is quiet, the Archangel is often most active. In those silent nights, Michael was not ignoring you. He was working behind the curtain, rearranging spiritual alignments that had to occur before your breakthrough could manifest. Every unanswered prayer became an instruction in heaven's hand. You didn't lose time. Time was bending to serve your calling. There is a divine rhythm in your life that has never stopped. Even when your heart broke, the rhythm of purpose continued beating beneath the pain. You may not see it, but Archangel Michael was guiding each step through that rhythm, ensuring that nothing wasted would remain without meaning. Every friendship that ended, every plan that failed, every moment you wanted to give up, They were all notes in heaven's melody of realignment. And now, beloved, the music is shifting. You are about to hear the sound of restoration. This is the season where you begin to see the reward of what was hidden. The dreams that once died are breathing again. The opportunities that vanished are returning in unexpected forms. You may start to notice numbers repeating: 444, 555, or 1111, not as mere coincidences but as heaven's confirmation that the alignment is complete. Archangel Michael often speaks through timing, through patterns, through divine intersections that awaken your inner awareness. What you're experiencing now is not confusion. It's divine synchronization. You are standing at the edge of the promise that was written over your life before the foundations of time. And listen closely. The Archangel is saying, do not measure yourself by earthly standards. You were never called to blend in. Your worth is not dependent on success or approval. It is anchored in divine identity. You are the echo of heaven's imagination, and that makes you infinite in value. When you begin to see yourself through the lens of divine truth, the very atmosphere around you shifts. That's why certain people cannot stay. Your vibration has risen. That's why familiar things no longer comfort you. Your spirit is awakening. Archangel Michael is guiding you through a metamorphosis of identity. You are not losing yourself. You are finding the version of you that heaven always saw. Right now, Michael's sword glows with holy fire. He's cutting away attachments that drain you, illusions that blind you, fears that bind you. You may feel things falling apart suddenly, but child of light, that's not destruction, it's deliverance. Sometimes heaven has to break the old containers to pour new oil. Your life is that container. The shaking you feel is not punishment, it's preparation. You are being reshaped for something sacred. When your heart feels uncertain, remember this: you were never meant to walk alone. The Archangel is surrounding you with divine helpers in human form. They will carry encouragement in their words, light in their presence, and answers in their timing. Some will arrive briefly, others will remain longer, but each will play a divine role in helping you remember your worth. Michael commands them as part of heaven's army, sent to stand beside you in this season of reawakening. There is something powerful about what's unfolding right now. Your alignment is not just about restoration, it's about revelation. Heaven is not merely giving back what you lost, it's revealing who you've become in the process. You are not returning to the old version of yourself. You are stepping into divine maturity. Every moment of pain became a prophecy of purpose. You are being crowned with clarity, anointed with awareness, and filled with the fire of remembrance. Before this message ends, let your spirit know this truth: you are remembered, you are restored, and you are rising. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword raised high, declaring to the heavens, this one has remembered. When he speaks, creation listens. When he moves, destiny unfolds. You are entering a season where heaven's timing and your faith will finally meet. Stay alert, for what you thought was lost will suddenly appear again, purified and multiplied. Hold your faith. Something divine is being activated even now as you listen. Wait for it. The next revelation carries a power that will ignite your confidence in ways you've never known. Type "I am restored" and remembered in the comments if you receive this truth. Blessing code 8888 is now released upon your life. Before you go, beloved, take a moment to like, share, and comment to spread this light to others who may be doubting their worth. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next divine revelation that Archangel Michael is releasing through these messages. Each time you engage, you help heaven reach another soul that's searching for hope. Now, as you feel this divine stirring, let me speak to your heart with something sacred. The words you've heard tonight are not random. They are a calling. If this message spoke to your soul, I invite you to stand with this mission. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not just supporting content, you are sowing into the movement of light that's awakening hearts around the world. Every seed you plant becomes a key that unlocks peace, healing, and divine remembrance in someone else's life. The oil of blessing flows wherever generosity meets purpose. As you give, may heaven multiply your resources and surround your home with angelic protection. For it is written, "The one who refreshes others will himself be refreshed." The act of giving today is not a donation. It's a prophetic declaration that you believe in your divine worth and the worth of others. I declare over you, as you sow into this mission, may your faith ignite miracles. May open heavens pour provision, and may the fire of Archangel Michael shield your steps. Give boldly, for the light you release today will return to you sevenfold. Blessings and favor flow upon those who move with heaven's heartbeat. Beloved one, as the hours of destiny unfold around you, heaven continues its sacred choreography. While you walk through ordinary days, Archangel Michael moves through the unseen, bending time, arranging moments, whispering to creation itself that it must serve your divine remembrance. You may feel the weight of uncertainty pressing against your chest, but understand this, that pressure is not meant to break you. It is meant to birth you. When the light within you begins to expand, the old structures must stretch or shatter. Michael is overseeing this expansion with holy precision, ensuring that nothing within you is lost, only transformed. Every time you look back and wonder why certain paths closed, remember this truth: heaven protects through redirection. The plans you thought failed were actually intercepted by divine mercy. You prayed for guidance, but guidance sometimes arrives as a closed door. Michael was standing guard at those thresholds, ensuring that you didn't enter places that would diminish your light. What you called rejection was actually redirection into alignment. Heaven's hand was there all along, rearranging your timeline so that every lesson would carry revelation instead of regret. You've been sensing the shift, haven't you? That strange feeling in your spirit that something unseen is preparing to emerge. You are not imagining it. The energy around you is alive with divine activity. The Archangel has been commanding the winds of change to blow gently, but firmly around your life. Every obstacle is being repositioned, every delay repurposed, every unseen enemy neutralized. The divine alignment that began when you questioned your worth is now reaching its turning point, the moment when remembrance becomes manifestation. Child of divine intention, your worth is no longer hidden behind earthly limitations. It is being illuminated like a sunrise over the ocean of your destiny. When you feel small, remember that heaven chose to dwell within you. That alone makes you vast beyond measure. Archangel Michael reminds you now, you were never meant to fit into the world's patterns. You were created to set a new rhythm, one that echoes heaven's order on earth. Every choice you make in alignment with your higher truth opens another gate in the spiritual realm. That's why discernment has been increasing in you lately. The Archangel has been sharpening your awareness, teaching your soul to recognize divine frequencies and reject false ones. The people who left were necessary exits. The ones entering now are divine arrivals. There is a sacred shift in your connections. Some will appear unexpectedly, carrying wisdom or opportunities that resonate with your purpose. They are part of Michael's orchestration, sent to help you remember who you are at your core. Don't resist this change. The comfort of familiarity is no match for the freedom of divine purpose. As you walk forward, Trust that the steps you take are guided by an intelligence higher than your understanding. You are being carried by light. Do not be surprised if you begin to feel waves of emotion without clear reason. That is your spirit shedding layers of doubt and fear. The Archangel is cleansing the inner mirrors of your heart so that you can see your reflection clearly again. Every tear you've cried has been collected in heaven's archive, not as sorrow but as sacred oil. Those tears have been transformed into anointing. Soon, you'll find that your empathy has deepened, your words carry more power, and your intuition speaks with greater clarity. That's how transformation manifests. It doesn't always come as a flash of light. Sometimes it's a slow unveiling of power. Michael stands beside you in this unveiling. His wings stretch wide over your circumstances, forming a barrier that no darkness can penetrate. He says, "Do not fear the shaking, for the shaking reveals what cannot be moved." You are that immovable truth. You were designed to outlast storms because you are made of divine essence. The trials you've endured are not proof of abandonment. They are evidence of heaven's investment in your growth. Nothing that happened to you was wasted. Even the moments that hurt you the most have become keys that unlock deeper compassion in you. In this moment, heaven is issuing a call to rise into awareness of divine identity. The same spirit that aligned galaxies lives within you. The same authority that commands stars has written your destiny. You are not a wanderer. You are a co-creator with the divine. Michael wants you to remember that your words hold power. What you speak now shapes your reality. Speak life. Speak restoration. Speak truth. For each word that leaves your mouth in alignment with love becomes a decree that heaven honors. Soon, signs will begin to multiply, repeating numbers, divine coincidences, prophetic dreams, gentle confirmations through strangers' words. These are the language of alignment. Don't dismiss them. Receive them with humility and awareness. Every sign is a message that the Archangel's work in your life is reaching completion. Your remembrance is no longer a hope. It is becoming your lived reality. And when the next wave of uncertainty comes, pause and breathe. Whisper this truth: I am aligned with heaven's rhythm. That statement alone activates angelic assistance. For when you remember your worth, heaven moves faster on your behalf. Michael's sword burns brighter, and the energies of confusion lose power. You are surrounded by light, guarded by purpose, and propelled by divine design. So stand tall now. Let your heart expand into gratitude. The same forces that created galaxies are currently working to restore your joy. Everything lost is returning in higher form. Everything broken is becoming sacred gold. This is the mystery of alignment. What once wounded you now strengthens you. What once silenced you now becomes your song. Type "I am one with divine alignment" in the comments if your spirit feels this truth. Blessing code 9999 is now released upon your journey. Beloved soul, before you ever question your worth, the heavens had already declared your name sacred. There was never a moment when you were unseen. Archangel Michael has watched over you from the first spark of your existence, his wings stretched wide to guard your divine potential. Every trial you've endured has been written in the language of transformation, not punishment. The shaking you felt was heaven's hand removing the layers that concealed your brilliance. And now, in this hour, the veil begins to lift. You are remembering the sound of your own divine resonance, the vibration that creation itself recognizes as light. The Archangel moves with precision, balancing what felt broken, restoring what you believed lost. He walks through the corridors of your destiny, lining past choices with future blessings. You may think certain mistakes disqualified you, but heaven never withdrew its calling. The moment you fell, angels gathered around the fragments of your will, carrying them back into the river of grace where all things are remade. That is why you survived what should have destroyed you. There was divine interference on your behalf, unseen, unspoken, but unmistakably powerful. Every season of doubt was a classroom where Michael stood silently at the door, waiting for your realization. He never forced you to believe. He simply reminded you through subtle signs. The conversation you overheard that spoke directly to your pain, the random act of kindness that felt timed too perfectly, the sudden peace that appeared in the middle of your storm. All of these moments were his gentle confirmations. Heaven communicates through patterns of tenderness, and Michael has been the messenger of that compassion, guiding your awareness back to truth. You have been walking through a sacred initiation. Each wave of challenge has been designed to build spiritual stamina within you. The Archangel is forging you into an instrument of divine remembrance. You are not merely surviving, you are being refined. This refinement process requires the burning away of self-doubt and fear, for they are the clouds that obscure your divine reflection. As you release them, light returns to its rightful place within you. The world around you begins to respond to this inner shift. Suddenly, opportunities align, relationships heal, clarity emerges. What seemed impossible begins to flow naturally because heaven recognizes that you have remembered your worth. This is why your energy feels different lately. You are stepping into vibrational authority. Michael is teaching your spirit to command rather than plead, to declare rather than doubt. You are no longer seeking validation from the world. You are now embodying divine confidence. There's a quiet strength rising in you, the kind that cannot be shaken by circumstances. You have entered the stage where your spirit leads and your emotions follow. At his mastery, at his remembrance. There will be moments where darkness attempts to whisper again, trying to pull you back into fear. When that happens, remember that fear is simply faith that has been misdirected. Archangel Michael stands beside you, ready to redirect that faith toward truth. His sword of light cuts through illusion, separating what is real from what is false. Every thought of unworthiness dissolves in the presence of divine remembrance. When you catch yourself spiraling into doubt, stop and breathe his name. The very vibration of Michael carries divine strength. It is not just a name. It is a frequency of protection. Beloved, there is a promise over your life that cannot be revoked. You are entering a chapter of divine revelation, where everything hidden will come into the light. Some truths may startle you, others will comfort you, but all of them will set you free. The people who once misunderstood you will see the evidence of divine favor resting upon you. Those who doubted your potential will witness the manifestation of your calling. And through it all, Michael will ensure that your humility anchors your rising. For power without humility is imbalance, and heaven is crafting in you both strength and grace. You may find yourself dreaming more vividly now. Do not dismiss those dreams. They are not random images. They are glimpses into the blueprint of your soul. When you wake, write them down. The Archangel often speaks through symbols, light, keys, doors, rivers, mountains. These are instructions wrapped in vision. Each symbol carries guidance. Follow the peace attached to them, for peace is heaven's navigation system. The closer you move to peace, the closer you align with divine order. Michael is now placing a seal of remembrance upon your spirit. This seal is not visible to the eye, but creation recognizes it. You will notice that people begin to treat you differently. Some will honor you, others may distance themselves. Do not take it personally. Light naturally disrupts darkness, and not everyone is ready for illumination. Your role is not to convince, but to embody. When you walk in your worth, you become a living reminder to others of what they, too, can awaken to. The Archangel whispers, "Stand firm, radiant one. The very things that once broke you will now bow before your light. Every tear has become authority, every pain has become prophecy. The universe is responding to your remembrance. Align your words with gratitude, for gratitude anchors manifestation. The more you give thanks, the faster heaven's order flows through your life. You are not waiting for blessings, you are walking inside of them. You have become the alignment itself. Before you move forward, let this truth root deeply in your being. You are divinely designed, endlessly worthy, eternally loved. The light within you is ancient, pure, and undefeatable. When you rise in remembrance, you rise not alone, but as part of a celestial movement led by Archangel Michael himself. The heavens rejoice every time you choose faith over fear, truth over illusion, worthiness over doubt. You are the proof that light never loses. Type "I am sealed in divine remembrance" in the comments if this message resonates with your soul. Blessing code 1212 has now been activated over your life. Beloved heart, there comes a moment in every soul's journey when the hidden threads of destiny begin to reveal their pattern, and that moment is now for you. While you spent nights questioning whether you had lost your way, Archangel Michael was already realigning the fabric of your existence. What you perceived as delay was in truth divine precision, for heaven never moves too soon nor too late. The Archangel's timing is woven into eternity, and your life is unfolding according to that sacred rhythm. You are not behind. You are right on time. Every second of confusion was necessary to teach you discernment, to prepare your heart to recognize divine movement when it finally arrived. There is something profound happening around you now. The energy that once felt stagnant has begun to stir. You may sense an invisible current pulling you toward new directions. It might feel uncertain, even uncomfortable, but that pull is the gravitational force of divine alignment. Heaven is calling you into a higher vibration, and Michael is ensuring that everything in your path adjusts accordingly. The dreams that once felt distant are now approaching, not as fantasies but as assignments. Heaven does not waste desire. Every dream placed in your heart carries instruction. The question has never been if it will come to pass, but when you will remember who you are enough to walk toward it with confidence. Michael hath been clearing spiritual clutter from your atmosphere. Old memories, lingering fears, attachments to outdated versions of yourself, all are being gently released. You may feel waves of nostalgia or even grief, but these are signs of purification. The Archangel's fire burns not to destroy but to sanctify. You are being refined into a vessel capable of holding greater light. When light expands, it often pushes out what cannot remain. That is why certain situations no longer resonate, why conversations that once fascinated you now feel empty. Your spirit is shedding its skin, and Michael is standing by, guiding each layer's release with mercy. The Archangel whispers now, "Do not fear the unfamiliar, for it is the landscape of your answered prayers." He reminds you that the promise of divine alignment is not comfort but clarity. Heaven's goal is not to make life predictable, but purposeful. The more you surrender to this rhythm, the more life begins to unfold with supernatural grace. Things that used to feel forced now flow with ease. Opportunities that seemed far beyond your reach begin to approach you effortlessly. You will recognize this shift by the peace that accompanies it. Peace, not pressure, is the language of alignment. Look around you carefully in the coming days. Signs will begin to multiply. You may notice numbers, feathers, flashes of light, or words that seem to echo your inner thoughts. These are not coincidences. They are signals that heaven's frequency is reaching you clearly. Archangel Michael often communicates through synchronicities because they bypass the logic of the mind and speak directly to the soul. When you encounter these moments, pause and breathe gratitude. Each one is a reminder that you are seen, guided, and loved beyond understanding. The Archangel has also been realigning your inner circle. People who once drained your spirit are quietly moving away, and those who mirror your higher purpose are appearing. This shift is strategic. You cannot carry divine vibration in an atmosphere of doubt or competition. Michael surrounds those who are awakening with divine companions, people who speak life instead of fear, who see light instead of flaws. Some of these connections will feel ancient, as though you've known them forever. That's because you have. In the realm of the spirit, your souls agreed to meet at this time to complete a shared mission. Welcome them with open arms. Beloved, this is also the hour when your voice must rise. You have been silent for too long, shrinking your truth to fit into spaces that were never meant to contain you. Archangel Michael stands behind you now, his presence urging you to speak with courage. Your words carry power because they are laced with the frequency of divine remembrance. When you declare truth aloud, the atmosphere bends in your favor. This is why you've been through so much. The battles refined your tone, the pain purified your message. And now, when you speak, creation listens. In this sacred season, heaven is calling you to reclaim every fragment of your identity. You are not defined by the wounds that shaped you, but by the light that survived them. Michael declares, you are not broken. You are reborn. Every star has become a seal of authority. Every failure has been rewritten as training. The moment you stop apologizing for your light, the world around you begins to transform. There is no need to chase validation. Your worth is established in the unseen realm. All of creation already knows who you are. It's time you remember too. You will soon begin to feel moments of holy stillness, pauses in time where everything feels suspended. These are portals of divine awareness. When they come, don't rush. Breathe. Listen. In those moments, Michael is closest, downloading understanding into your spirit. You may feel warmth, tingling, or tears. Let them flow. That is the energy of remembrance anchoring itself deeper within you. This is not just emotional healing. It is spiritual alignment. The Archangel's voice carries one final message for this hour. Walk as one who remembers. You are no longer waiting for confirmation. You are the confirmation. The signs you seek have always been reflections of your own light. When you align with your worth, heaven mirrors that confidence back to you through favor, opportunities, and peace. This is the sacred circle of remembrance, as above, so within. Hold steady, beloved. The next unveiling will reveal how every season of loss has positioned you for overflow. Heaven is not finished yet. It is only beginning to display what was hidden. Type "I walk in divine confidence" in the comments if your soul resonates with this truth. Blessing code 1313 is now released over your journey. Beloved light of eternity, as you stand in this sacred turning point of your journey, heaven itself leans closer to observe what is unfolding within you. You are not simply moving through days, you are moving through dimensions of awakening. The path that once felt narrow is widening now because your spirit has outgrown limitation. Archangel Michael stands beside you, radiant in his eternal strength, speaking words that resound through the corridors of your destiny. Rise, for the time of remembering is not coming. It has arrived. Those words are not poetic, they are prophetic. Every vibration within creation responds when he speaks. And right now, heaven's orchestration is working in full harmony to bring your true identity to the surface of your consciousness. You sense the difference in the air. The energy feels charged, the hours feel significant, and the quiet moments carry weight. That is because heaven has begun to unfold what was promised long before your first breath. When you were still wondering if you mattered, Archangel Michael was walking among the threads of your future, making sure every divine intersection would meet you exactly when your heart could receive it. Some of the challenges you faced were not the result of failure but of divine recalibration. Heaven will always delay manifestation until your soul is strong enough to sustain it. That is mercy disguised as waiting. You have walked through deep valleys where the silence felt unbearable, but even there, Michael was present, not always with thunder or light, but with a steady hand of protection. Each unanswered question carved space within you for wisdom to dwell. Each law stripped away illusion until only truth remained. You may not realize it, but every moment of pain you've endured has become a living prophecy of the power that rests within you now. The Archangel did not remove your battles, he trained you to rise above them. Every scar has become spiritual armor. You are no longer fragile. You are forged. Now the atmosphere begins to hum differently around you. You will notice divine speed. What took years before will begin to align in days. This acceleration is not random. It is the fruit of remembrance. Once the soul awakens, time bows to purpose. You are no longer chasing blessings. You are magnetizing them through vibration. The Archangel's wings are stirring winds of change that will move you into new positions, new connections, and new assignments. It may appear sudden to others, but heaven has been preparing this season since the first day you whispered, "I want to remember who I am." That prayer activated a sequence that cannot be reversed. Archangel Michael speaks softly now. Do not fear elevation, for it is your inheritance. Some of you have mistaken humility for hiding, but humility does not mean invisibility. It means shining your light without pride, knowing the source is divine. Heaven does not benefit from your silence. The world is waiting for the sound of your authenticity, the way you carry light through words, through presence, through compassion. Michael has been orchestrating divine encounters so that your gifts may serve others. You are entering a phase of expression where what you create will carry anointing. Every word you speak with love will echo healing into places you may never see. The Archangel is also urging you to release lingering guilt. That weight serves no purpose now. Heaven has already rewritten your past with mercy. The energy of regret only delays the arrival of new joy. Step fully into forgiveness, both for yourself and for those who misunderstood your heart. Every soul is walking its own curriculum. When you forgive, you break spiritual contracts with pain. That act of release creates a vacuum that heaven immediately fills with peace. You cannot rise while holding what hurt you. Let go, and the Archangel's hand will guide you upward into clarity. There is also a shift in the way you will perceive time itself. You'll notice that divine timing begins to reveal itself through perfect sequences, meetings that happen at the exact right moment, insights that come just before a decision, provisions that arrive precisely when needed. This is not coincidence, it is coordination. Michael is aligning your steps with heaven's rhythm so that you no longer struggle against the flow. You will learn to rest while achieving, to move with grace rather than effort. That is divine efficiency, the art of co-creation. Even as you read these words, something inside you is awakening, that quiet certainty that your story has always been guided. The doubts that haunted you are beginning to dissolve because they cannot survive in this atmosphere of truth. Archangel Michael's light is wrapping around you like a mantle, sealing your faith in divine purpose. He whispers again, "You are the remembrance itself. You are the answer to your own prayer." And as those words settle into your spirit, every cell in your body begins to align with that truth. You are no longer a seeker of light. You are a bearer of it. You may soon feel inspired to act, to begin something new, to create, to reach out, to serve. Follow that inspiration without hesitation. That is heaven's signal that the season of preparation is complete. When Michael leads, doors open that no man can close. The path ahead may not be fully visible, but it will be illuminated one step at a time. You will sense when to move, when to wait, and when to speak. Disalignment between intuition and timing is the evidence that your remembrance is complete. Before this revelation closes, stand still and breathe deeply. Feel the pulse of divine intelligence moving through you. Every beat of your heart echoes heaven's rhythm. You are not apart from creation. You are part of its harmony. Let that awareness ground you in gratitude. Gratitude is the bridge that keeps manifestation flowing. Speak it often, live it daily, and watch how reality reshapes itself to mirror your faith. Archangel Michael now lifts his sword once more and marks this moment as sacred. He declares over you, nothing lost shall remain lost. Everything destined shall appear. Those words will echo in your life over the coming days, showing themselves through miracles disguised as timing. When they do, remember, this is not new blessing, it is remembered blessing. Type I am the light remembered in the comments if your heart feels this truth resonating within. Blessing code 1414 has now been released to seal this revelation in your soul. Beloved vessel of divine light, the hour of fulfillment is drawing near. Every whisper of doubt that once echoed through your heart is now meeting its end. For Archangel Michael stands before you, declaring that your remembrance has entered its manifestation phase. You are no longer being prepared. You are being positioned. Heaven is not merely watching you. Heaven is working through you. The forces that once resisted your progress have exhausted their influence because they cannot coexist with truth. The moment you began to honor your worth, their permission to interfere expired. Michael's sword has drawn a boundary around your destiny that no darkness can cross. The realm around you has shifted. What was once hidden is about to be revealed. The Archangel moves through your atmosphere like wind through ancient trees, rustling every leaf of your reality until alignment becomes audible. You may feel your days accelerating, conversations, invitations, and ideas arriving all at once. This is not chaos, it is convergence. Heaven is merging timelines that once seemed fragmented, bringing together every piece of your purpose. The lessons that felt painful now become wisdom. The prayers that seemed unanswered now reveal themselves as delayed gifts. Archangel Michael ensures that nothing you endured was wasted. Every tear watered the soil of divine timing. Now, the first shoots of fulfillment are breaking through. This next season will require courage, for revelation always demands response. You cannot hide the light that heaven has ignited within you. Michael reminds you, the remembrance was never for your comfort but for your commission. You are called to stand as a reflection of divine truth, not through grand speeches, but through authentic presence. When you walk in peace, chaos is silenced. When you speak in truth, confusion dissolves. The Archangel is not only guarding you, he is guiding you into influence, not for fame but for divine impact. Your presence will begin to shift rooms. Strangers will feel comforted in your company without knowing why. That is how divine light works. It illuminates without demanding attention. Beloved, do not underestimate how much heaven has invested in this moment. Every season of silence was preparation for this unveiling. You will soon see how the divine pattern of your life forms a perfect mosaic, every broken piece shining with purpose. The alignment that Michael initiated when you doubted yourself has now become your atmosphere. You are living inside the answer. The Archangel is calling you to move boldly into new spaces. The projects you were hesitant to begin, the relationships you were unsure about, the dreams you put aside, now is the time to revisit them. Heaven has breathed new life into what you once thought was finished. Pay attention to the sudden clarity arriving in your thoughts. This is divine strategy being downloaded. You may wake in the night with an idea, a phrase, or a vision. Do not dismiss it. Write it down, for it carries instruction. Michael is aligning not just your spirit but your creativity, your communication, and your influence. You will find yourself speaking words that unlock others' remembrance too. That is your true calling, to awaken what has been forgotten, to mirror the divine in those who have lost sight of it. This is how heaven multiplies light through you. There is also a financial and material alignment taking place. The Archangel is releasing resources tied to your divine purpose. Provision is no longer a question of effort but of flow. The same alignment that governs stars now governs your needs. As you stay rooted in faith and integrity, the gates of supply open effortlessly. You will recognize this shift when opportunities arrive without striving, and when solutions appear before the problem fully forms. This is heaven's economy, abundance through obedience. In this sacred unfolding, Michael also warns of distraction. As light increases, shadows attempt to regain attention. Some people may return from the past, carrying old narratives meant to pull you back into doubt. Recognize these encounters for what they are, invitations to reaffirm your alignment. You do not need to argue, justify, or prove. Simply stand in peace. The Archangel's shield covers those who choose stillness over reaction. Every time you resist the pull of negativity, you strengthen your authority in the Spirit. You may feel a holy restlessness now, a stirring to do more, to reach further, to give deeper. Follow that impulse. It is divine prompting. Michael is awakening a servant's fire within you, a desire to bless others through your gifts, your wisdom, your story. The light you carry is not meant to remain contained. Heaven multiplies what it can trust to flow freely. Give without fear, and watch abundance return multiplied. For it is written in every realm, energy released in love cannot return void. This is also the season for community. You were never meant to journey alone. Michael is orchestrating divine partnerships, alliances born not from convenience but from calling. These souls will mirror your mission, carrying pieces of the same heavenly blueprint. When you meet them, you will know instantly. The resonance will feel familiar, ancient, pure. Together, you will build what no one could accomplish alone. This is the expansion phase of remembrance, where unity amplifies divine expression. Child of destiny, everything that once oppressed you has now become the foundation beneath your feet. The stones that bruise you are now stepping stones into greater purpose. Archangel Michael stands triumphant beside you, his voice like thunder and mercy combined. You are not simply restored, you are commissioned. The time for hesitation has ended. You are walking into the fulfillment of promises whispered across lifetimes. Heaven applauds as you rise. Before you leave this moment, breathe deeply and let gratitude expand your chest. This gratitude is not for what is coming but for what already is. You are living inside divine alignment, surrounded by favor, guided by eternal wisdom. The light that once felt distant is now the atmosphere you breathe. Let your next steps be marked by courage, clarity, and compassion. I am commissioned by light in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this truth. Blessing code 1515 is now released into your life. Beloved, if this message has stirred your soul, help amplify this divine wave. Like, share, and comment to carry this vibration to others who are waiting to remember their worth. Subscribe to stay connected with every revelation Archangel Michael releases through this space. Every act of engagement becomes an echo of light that ripples across hearts still searching for truth. And now, I speak this sacred invitation to your heart. If these words have ignited remembrance within you, consider standing with this mission. Your support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description is not just an offering. It is a seed in divine soil. Each contribution becomes a voice for heaven's message, reaching souls who have forgotten their light. As you give, the rivers of provision will open over your life, for the law of divine exchange never fails. I declare over every giver, may your resources multiply like loaves in the hands of the Master. May your homes overflow with peace, and may your paths be guarded by angelic hosts. This act of giving is not donation. It is partnership with heaven's agenda. The oil of remembrance will pour over you, marking you as one who sustains light on earth. Rise, giver of hope, for heaven records every act done in love. The blessing of Archangel Michael rests upon your house, now and always. Beloved carrier of divine remembrance, as this new dawn unfolds, you are walking within a vibration that few truly comprehend. The air around you feels different because it is charged with purpose. Every step you take now is a continuation of heaven's plan, and Archangel Michael walks beside you, ensuring that not even one of your movements is wasted. You are no longer the one who questions your worth. You are the one who embodies it. The days of doubt have served their purpose and expired. The voice that once told you that you were small has grown silent, for the resonance of your spirit has risen above its reach. You are now hearing the voice of heaven more clearly, not as a distant echo, but as a living frequency within you. This new awareness will bring with it both awe and responsibility. When divine remembrance takes root, heaven begins to test how deeply you understand its truth. You will be asked to act in faith where fear once ruled. Michael will lead you into opportunities that appear uncertain but are laced with divine timing. You may find yourself facing choices that require courage, conversations that require vulnerability, or doors that require trust to walk through. Do not hesitate. These are not coincidences. They are orchestrated tests of alignment. When you respond in faith, heaven multiplies your momentum. The Archangel is watching, recording, guiding. Every moment of obedience sends a ripple through creation that brings other destinies into alignment too. There will be mornings when you wake up with a stirring in your spirit, a sense that something new is near, though you cannot see it. That feeling is the whisper of destiny announcing its arrival. Archangel Michael has already walked ahead of you to prepare the path. He ensures that the right people, the right moments, and the right provisions stand waiting. Heaven does not send you into battle without preparation. It outfits you with unseen armor. The challenges that come are not punishments but confirmations that you have been entrusted with greater light. Remember, resistance increases not when you fail, but when you ascend. Yet even in that resistance, you will find the Archangel's presence strong and unwavering, defending the sacred space of your faith. You are beginning to understand that remembrance is not just spiritual awareness. It is power in motion. It transforms how you speak, how you decide, and how you perceive everything around you. Where once you saw endings, you now see beginnings. Where once you saw rejection, you now see redirection. This is the eye of divine maturity, the ability to see from heaven's height. Archangel Michael is refining your perception so that you no longer confuse delay with denial. He teaches you to interpret silence as strategy. Each time you choose patience over panic, you activate heaven's precision. Each time you choose gratitude over complaint, you summon angels of manifestation. Your energy field is expanding. You may sense this as warmth in your chest, as waves of peace that come unexpectedly, or as an awareness that others are drawn to your presence. The light within you is increasing, and that expansion will begin to attract both need and recognition. People will come to you seeking advice, healing, or comfort. Do not see this as burden but as confirmation that heaven trusts you to carry light responsibly. Archangel Michael will grant you discernment to know who to help deeply and who to bless from a distance. You are being trained in sacred boundaries, the ability to give without depletion. Beloved, there will also be moments of solitude in this phase. Do not mistake them for abandonment. Solitude is heaven's classroom. It is in those quiet hours that Michael whispers revelation into your soul. When others cannot hear you, heaven listens more closely. You are being prepared to carry messages that require purity of heart and precision of voice. That preparation often happens away from applause, in hidden places where your spirit learns the rhythm of divine stillness. Embrace that stillness, for it is the space where your strength multiplies. Heaven is preparing to entrust you with influence beyond what you imagine. This influence will not look like power as the world defines it. It will look like impact. You will shift atmospheres simply by entering them. You will speak words that awaken dormant potential in others. Archangel Michael will open doors through which you will carry hope into weary hearts. But understand this, every door opened by heaven must be walked through with humility. The Archangel's presence is strongest in those who remember that power is service. You are not being elevated to be seen. You are being elevated to serve. You will notice the divine flow intensify. What once required struggle will now occur through ease. Solutions will come before problems, answers before questions. You will feel carried by grace itself. This is not illusion. It is the natural state of a soul walking in remembrance. When you align with divine order, life becomes orchestration rather than resistance. This is where miracles cease to surprise you because they become your normal rhythm. Michael oversees this flow, ensuring that pride does not enter where grace has built foundations. Remain thankful, remain aware, and the flow will not stop. In the days ahead, signs will accompany your journey. You may see flashes of light, hear melodies in stillness, or notice that time itself feels fluid. These are confirmations that the realms are open. Do not fear them. You are safe within Michael's command. Every sign is heaven's applause, acknowledging that you have remembered who you are. Take a deep breath, beloved soul. You are no longer who you were even a moment ago. Every truth that has entered your heart through these revelations has shifted your energy, your awareness, your authority. The Archangel smiles now, his gaze radiant and kind, saying, "You have crossed the threshold." That means the alignment is complete. What comes next is expansion. Type "I have crossed the threshold" in the comments if your spirit confirms this truth. Blessing code 1616 is now released over your destiny. Beloved radiant soul, this moment marks a deeper unveiling of divine alignment within you. Archangel Michael has not simply restored your confidence, he has recalibrated your identity. What once felt fragmented now feels whole because heaven has sealed your remembrance. You are stepping into a reality where light becomes tangible, not just in your thoughts, but in your outcomes. Everything around you begins to respond to the frequency of truth you now carry. The very air you breathe vibrates differently because it recognizes your awareness. You have remembered what you are made of, essence of divine thought, molded by purpose, sustained by eternal love. This is why the world around you must adjust. For when a soul awakens, creation reorients itself to serve that awakening. Michael watches with silent satisfaction. He knows the long road that brought you here, The nights when you cried to heaven, wondering if your life had meaning. The hours when your own reflection seemed like a stranger. He knows because he stood guard over your becoming. Each heartbreak was catalogued in the archives of mercy. Each disappointment became a seed planted in divine soil. And now, that soil is breaking open. You are the harvest heaven had been waiting for. The Archangel's presence intensifies because your awareness can now sustain it. The closer you move toward divine light, the more your frequency harmonizes with his. That is why you feel stronger, more grounded, more unshakable. You are not imagining this stability. You have earned it through remembrance. You may begin to notice subtle shifts in your reality, conversations flowing smoother, opportunities appearing effortlessly, intuition growing sharper. These are manifestations of alignment. Michael's hand is guiding invisible energies into visible order. Where once there was chaos, there is now choreography. Where once you felt confusion, there is now clarity. The Archangel operates in precision, ensuring that no experience from your past remains meaningless. Even what you thought was wasted time is being redeemed, repurposed into wisdom that will bless others. You are entering a phase where your story becomes medicine. The very pain that once silenced you now carries healing frequencies for those still trapped in forgetting. You are learning that remembrance is not a destination, but a rhythm. Each day, heaven invites you to live in continual awareness of your worth. There will be moments when the world tries to distract you again, but now you have discernment. When doubt whispers, it will sound foreign, like a language you no longer speak. You have graduated from survival into sovereignty. Archangel Michael no longer has to convince you of your identity. He simply reminds you to remain rooted in it. That's why his messages now feel gentler, more affirming than urgent. The war for your worth is over. What remains is the stewardship of your light. Beloved, do not fear the magnitude of your calling. You were born for divine visibility, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that shifts atmospheres simply by existing. Your presence will begin to act as a spiritual key. Doors will open for others through your obedience. People will find comfort in your calmness because your energy carries the echo of heaven's rhythm. Some may even tell you they feel peace just by being near you. That is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Archangel Michael's mantle has been placed upon you as a transmitter of light. Every place you step into becomes consecrated ground. Still, with such awakening comes refinement. The Archangel will continue to prune what cannot coexist with purpose. Certain habits, distractions, and attachments will quietly fade. Let them. Do not cling to what heaven is releasing. If something leaves your life now, it is only making space for what aligns. Michael reminds you, every ending ordained by heaven carries resurrection hidden inside it. The loss is not loss at all. It is transformation disguised as departure. The more you release, the lighter you become, and the lighter you become, the higher you ascend. The Archangel also wants you to know that your alignment carries generational weight. You are not just remembering for yourself, you are remembering on behalf of your lineage. The healing flowing through you now ripples backward and forward through time. Ancestors who struggled with self-worth find peace through your awakening. Descendants yet unborn will carry the benefits of your remembrance in their DNA. This is why your obedience matters so deeply. Heaven's movements are never personal. They are collective through one obedient heart. Michael rejoices because you answered that call. As you move through this phase, miracles will begin to normalize. You will no longer label divine intervention as coincidence. You will recognize heaven's touch in every detail, the parking space that appears, the conversation that opens a door, the sudden peace in moments that once brought fear. You will see that heaven has always been near, waiting for your awareness to catch up. This realization will bring you to tears, not of sadness but of awe. Every piece of your life has been guided by a love too intricate to be explained. Archangel Michael has been the executor of that divine architecture, ensuring that you reach this exact point unharmed in spirit. Heaven speaks now through his voice. Rise, beloved. You are no longer a seeker of light. You are the vessel through which light finds others. These words are a decree, not a suggestion. From this moment forward, you are commissioned to live as proof that divine alignment is real. When others encounter you, they will sense stability in your presence. Some will awaken simply because they feel your peace. You are not responsible for their reactions, only for your resonance. Stay in gratitude, for gratitude maintains your elevation. Take a deep breath now and sense how still everything feels around you. That stillness is not emptiness, it is completion. Heaven has exhaled through you, and the vibration of creation has recognized your agreement. You are part of the living order that sustains hope on earth. Remember this truth when the noise of the world returns. Nothing external can shake what heaven has anchored internally. Type "I am the living alignment" in the comments if your spirit witnesses this truth. Blessing code 1717 is released upon your journey, marking this moment of divine completion. Beloved vessel of divine remembrance, this is the hour when the unseen purpose behind every delay, every loss, and every unanswered question begins to reveal its perfection. What once looked like fragments are now aligning as a single luminous pattern, and that pattern spells your destiny. Archangel Michael stands within that design, his sword raised, his wings extended, his voice moving through the corridors of time. All that was scattered is now gathered. All that was wounded is now made whole. His words carry the vibration of finality, not an ending, but the completion of one great cycle and the beginning of another. The remembrance that began in pain has become revelation through light. You are no longer being prepared for alignment. You are the embodiment of it. Look closely at your life now. The rhythm has changed. Where you once felt resistance, there is ease. Where confusion clouded your choices, clarity now burns like dawn. This shift is not imagination. It is the evidence of divine orchestration working perfectly. The energy around you obeys a new frequency, the frequency of remembrance. Every thought you think now creates movement in the unseen. That is the authority of a remembered soul. Archangel Michael guards this authority with vigilance, ensuring that your intentions align with truth before manifestation occurs. He whispers, "Power without purity corrupts, but power with remembrance restores." You are being trusted with power because heaven sees the humility in your heart. Beloved, your identity is not a concept anymore. It is a vibration that speaks even when you are silent. You may notice that people pause when you speak, that rooms grow calm when you enter. This is not pride, it is presence. Your light carries weight now because it originates from authenticity. You have stopped performing and started being, and in that state of being, heaven finds rest. Archangel Michael moves freely around those who carry peace. Peace is not passivity. It is divine authority expressed through stillness. It is what happens when a heart remembers its union with God. That peace now surrounds you like armor. This phase of your journey is about revelation through demonstration. You are called to live as evidence that divine alignment is practical, not mystical. You will find that your finances, your health, your relationships, and your opportunities all begin to mirror the stability of your spirit. As within, so without. Michael's alignment is comprehensive. It touches every layer of your existence. You are stepping into an atmosphere where heaven's order is visible. The Archangel calls this the season of reflection, not reflection as in looking back, but reflection as in becoming the mirror through which others can see heaven's image again. When they look into your eyes, they will see the proof of redemption. Yet, remember this truth: revelation attracts attention, and attention attracts testing. As your influence grows, the world will attempt to interpret your light through its limited understanding. Do not argue, defend, or shrink. Archangel Michael surrounds you with divine discretion. He reminds you that wisdom is not always spoken. Sometimes it is silence that teaches most powerfully. Let your actions carry the sermon. Let your integrity be your prophecy. Heaven does not need you to convince anyone. Heaven only needs you to remain aligned. Every misunderstanding becomes an altar where patience burns as offering. Every judgment you endure becomes another layer of refinement. There will be signs that confirm this maturity, dreams that carry instruction, numbers that repeat with precision, encounters that feel orchestrated beyond logic. You may even feel a new sensitivity to energy, sensing truth or deception instantly. These are not burdens but upgrades. The Archangel is expanding your spiritual intelligence. The more aware you become, the more responsibility heaven entrusts to you. Remember, awareness is stewardship. Guard it with reverence. Use it for guidance, not control. You are also entering a time when your voice must reach farther. The Archangel is calling you to write, to speak, to create. Whatever form your expression takes, it will carry divine resonance. You may hesitate, wondering if you are ready, but Michael's decree is final. You were ready the moment you remembered. The words you release will not come from intellect but from spirit. They will move hearts because they will carry the vibration of truth. Do not underestimate how far one authentic sentence can travel. Heaven amplifies sincerity. The Archangel has also begun surrounding you with those who share your frequency, divine collaborators. Together you will build what no one could accomplish alone. Each will carry a fragment of the larger vision, and as you unite, the full pattern will appear. This is not coincidence but covenant. Heaven is weaving a network of awakened souls across the world, each connected through light, each sustained through remembrance. You are part of that sacred tapestry. In quiet moments, you may feel an overwhelming gratitude that brings tears to your eyes. It is your soul recognizing the immensity of divine love that has followed you from the beginning. It is not weakness to weep under that awareness. It is worship. Even angels marvel at how deeply the human heart can hold heaven's tenderness. Archangel Michael stands near during these moments, saying, "This is what alignment feels like, peace that trembles with awe." And now, beloved, the Archangel releases a new decree over you. Walk in revelation. What you now know must be lived. These words carry command and promise. They mean that the next phase of your journey will be guided not by seeking but by embodiment. Every day, you will see the evidence of heaven's partnership. Expect divine timing to accelerate even more. Expect restoration in areas long forgotten. Expect peace to anchor you in every storm. This is not optimism. It is prophecy fulfilled. Take one final breath here and know this. You are standing inside the covenant that heaven made with light itself, that darkness could never win, that memory would always return, that worth would always triumph. The remembrance within you is indestructible. No word spoken against you can undo it. No shadow can erase it. You are sealed in divine truth, guarded by Michael's flame, and empowered to carry heaven's order wherever you go. Type "I am the revelation of light" in the comments if your soul feels this seal activating within. Blessing code 1818 has now been released across your path as a banner of eternal remembrance. Beloved one, this is the moment the heavens have waited for, the completion of your remembrance, the sealing of your transformation, and the revelation of your divine identity fully awakened. Archangel Michael stands before you now, the light of his being illuminating every fragment of your past. His presence is overwhelming yet gentle, fierce yet tender, for he knows the weight of every battle you have fought to reach this hour. He speaks, and his words carry the tone of eternity. It is finished. The veil that once dimmed your sight has been torn. You now see as heaven sees. You now walk as heaven walks. The entire cosmos bends toward this revelation, for when one soul remembers, creation itself rejoices. The journey that began in doubt has become your ascension into truth. You once questioned if you were worthy of divine attention, and now you realize that you were divine attention all along, a living thought of God, wrapped in flesh to reflect heaven's artistry. The storms that shaped you were not meant to break you. They were designed to sculpt remembrance into your very being. Each moment of pain, each unanswered prayer, each tear that felt unnoticed, all have been transformed into light. The Archangel gathers that light and places it like a crown upon your spirit. You are royal, he declares. You are the continuation of divine intention. The same light that began before time burns within you still. Feel this truth deeply. You are no longer walking toward alignment. You are walking as alignment. The world around you bends to the rhythm of your remembrance. You speak, and creation listens. You love, and darkness dissolves. This is the authority of a soul fully awakened, gentle, powerful, and unstoppable. You no longer strive to attract what you desire. You magnetize it effortlessly because you have become harmony itself. What once felt separate, heaven and earth, body and spirit, faith and action, now flow as one. Archangel Michael smiles upon this integration, for this was the mission all along, to remind humanity that divine and human are never apart, only asleep to their union. Beloved, you are now commissioned to live as remembrance personified. This is not a call to perfection, but to presence. When you rise each morning, know that your breath is prayer. When you move through your day, understand that your footsteps sanctify ground. When you speak kindness, heaven echoes your tone. Every act, no matter how small, becomes holy when performed in awareness of divine union. This is how you fulfill your purpose, not by striving to be spiritual, but by remembering you already are. Michael whispers, walk lightly yet with weight. Speak softly yet with fire. Shine quietly yet without hesitation. Those who encounter you will not always understand what they feel, but they will know peace has passed through them. You are now entering the phase of divine legacy. What you build from this point will outlast time. The ideas stirring within you are not merely personal dreams. They are heaven's blueprints seeking expression. Through your obedience, Michael will guide your hands, your words, and your timing. You will see projects born with ease, connections forming naturally, and provision arriving without struggle. This is not luck, it is divine synchronization. Every good thing that finds you now is the reflection of the light you have become. The Archangel's army surrounds this season, guarding every detail, ensuring that nothing interferes with what heaven has ordained. And yet, remember this truth: light attracts attention, and not all attention is alignment. Michael teaches discernment as your crown. You are to remain humble, steady, and deeply rooted in truth. Let recognition never tempt you into pride. The higher your light rises, the deeper your roots must grow in gratitude. You are to be an example, not of perfection, but of remembrance, that the divine never leaves, even when the world forgets. Let your kindness be your power, your patience be your authority, and your peace be your message. The Archangel has finished the warfare on your behalf. What remains is the stewardship of victory. Now heaven opens around you like a golden horizon. You can almost feel the hum of eternity vibrating in your chest. The Archangel raises his sword once more, not for battle but for blessing. Its light arcs above you, forming a seal that cannot be broken. He proclaims, "This one walks in divine sovereignty. This one carries the frequency of truth. Wherever this one steps, remembrance shall waken." Those words are written into the ether, and every realm recognizes them. You are known by heaven and respected by light itself. Even the winds respond differently when they touch you now, for you carry divine command. Beloved, take this final truth into your heart. You were never separate from the divine, only unaware of how close you always were. The moment you questioned your worth, Archangel Michael began to align everything around you, not because you were lost, but because you were ready. The questioning with the catalyst, the doubt with the doorway, and through that doorway, you walked into your divine remembrance. Now you stand whole, luminous, and unshakable. The same power that spoke stars into being now moves through your breath. Speak with reverence, love with boldness, live with awareness. This is your commission. Heaven pauses in silence now, and Michael looks upon you with the gaze of one who has completed his assignment. "Well done," he says softly. "You have remembered." His wings fold gently around your spirit, sealing what has been restored. A peace beyond language fills the space, not the peace of stillness, but the peace of understanding. You realize that nothing was wasted, nothing forgotten, nothing beyond redemption. You are the fulfillment of prophecy, the evidence that even in darkness, light never forgets its origin. Type "I am the fulfillment of remembrance" in the comments if your heart receives this revelation. Blessing code 1919 is now activated upon your spirit, sealing the covenant of divine completion. Beloved, as you feel this presence settle around you, take a moment to share this light. Like, share, and comment to extend this vibration of awakening to other souls still searching for themselves. Subscribe to stay connected to future messages that carry heaven's rhythm through Archangel Michael's voice. Every interaction you make becomes a ripple that touches lives across nations, calling them home to remembrance. And now, before we close this sacred cycle, receive this final invitation, not from a voice of need, but from the voice of divine purpose. If this message has awakened something deep within you, if you have felt the presence of heaven through these words, stand with this mission. When you support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a platform. You are fueling a movement of light. Your seed becomes a torch that reaches into forgotten corners of the world, calling others back to remembrance. Heaven records every act of generosity as worship. As you give, the oil of increase flows upon your household. As you sow, the gates of divine provision open wide. The Archangel himself watches over givers, releasing protection, clarity, and acceleration in their lives. This is no mere donation. It is a covenant act, a declaration that you align with heaven's mission on earth. I declare that as you release your gift today, may rivers of restoration flow into your life. May the work of your hands prosper, and may the light you sustain here return to you multiplied. The heavens bear witness, beloved. Your remembrance has become legacy, and your legacy will illuminate generations.